answers.
You do.
You know what I mean? And I
You need answers.
And I just pray that they receive those answers. And I pray that eventually they're able to find those lost bodies. And I just pray for the families that's going through this at this time, man.
Yes, so do I. We all do. And also mentioning prayer, shout out to the De La Cruz family and the loss of Harrison Police Officer Elizabeth De La Cruz. We wish her family much peace and blessings, and we know the grief will be there, but so will we. We'll be right by your side.
Right. That's right, good brother. You know what I mean? We're going to be there for you. Whatever you need BLESC to do, please reach out to us, man. So, prayers to the family of Juan De La Cruz and, the late Elizabeth De La Cruz, Harrison PD.
Many prayers, man.
Definitely.
Prayers,
and I guess before we bring Fibo on, I just want to, bring up the last topic, since those other two topics was hot. Let's talk about this heat. Like,
you don't want to get me started.
This heat wave is ridiculous. I feel like I'm being punished or something like that. I'm not there.
Listen, so I've been telling everybody my story yesterday. So my story started like this. I got up early. It was hot when I walked out the house. Don't get me wrong. It was regular hot. When I walked to the I got to the doctor's office. When I walked out that foot doctor, I felt like somebody was talking to me. It was so hot. I felt like I was about to catch on fire.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Crazy day it was hot out there.
It's ridiculous, man. And in all seriousness, man, this is the weather where if you're seniors, you need to stay indoors. For those of us who are traveling with children, please don't leave your kids in the car.
Yes.
Like, I was one of the kids who parents didn't have AC, and, you locked in the car and it's hot. And, back then you couldn't say nothing to your mom about you being hot. You just had to deal with it.
But you could roll the window down, couldn't you?
Yeah, but, you see the heat right now, mama? All right, well, anyway, I'm not a pet lover at all. I really don't like animals. But those who have animals, please don't leave your animals in the car in this type of weather.
That's animal cruelty, man.
Right. You know what I mean? I don't like them. I don't like a cat nor a dog, right? But
with aggression. You use aggression, mom? I don't like a dog.
I don't like none I don't like none I gotta feed who can't take care of themselves.
Okay.
Gosh darn it. But in all seriousness, people, just please do not leave your animals in the car. These are not the times for you to catch a charge by doing something like that.
True.
All right.
And last but not least, Mr. Chauncey B.
Yes,
rock
ma'am.
the block.
That's right.
What you got to say?
So, congratulations to BLESC, Blacks in Law Enforcement, another year.
That's all right.
Going down. We put it out. We put it down. We put it down. Much love and respect, and shout out goes to JCPD. All districts, east, west, north, south.
Yes.
Shout out to Tony Goodman. Shout out to Director Moody.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Jen and all of the guys. Shout out to everybody, the whole staff that put that together with us, man. That was an amazing ordeal. It's just been very hot. It's just been every good event. If y'all noticed with Rock the Block, it was
steaming.
It was Jamaica, Puerto Rico, everything. Like, we didn't have to go on vacation because it came to us.
Yes, the heat
we just
was
needed
there.
some coconuts. That's all we needed. Right. It was very exclusively, abundantly hot.
But it was a good event.
No doubt.
Everything
and it was fun.
good. A lot of people came this year. A lot of people enjoyed us, man. They enjoyed us. A lot of people asking about Cynthia Blue.
Why?
Everybody talking about Elton. Everybody's like, where's Anthony? Where's Anthony? They sound like his father. I was like, oh, they sound like Anthony's father. I like Anthony. I like Anthony.
Yeah, well, some people was calling him Tony, but, light-skinned Tony, the president.
Yeah, we got light-skinned Keisha and light-skinned Tony.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all going to be amazed. We have a lot of questions already.
Okay, we're going to get to the questions in a minute.
Oh, man.
Let's bring up Fibo so he can address the whole
that's the
13.
good brother.
Yeah, the good brother Fibo, Dennis Fibo. Let's clap it up.
Hello.
We're going to address real quick the 13th Amendment, then we're going to take a break and go to the doctor.
Hey, Dennis. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Good.
What's up, good brother?
Peace, peace to the brother.
All right. So you want me to jump in? Yeah. All right, family. So quick reminder, as we spoke last week, we currently have bills in the state of New Jersey that would permanently abolish slavery and involuntary servitude. Bills ACR 145 and FCR 96, Assembly and Senate concurrent resolutions, would add language to the New Jersey State Constitution, permanently abolishing slavery, including as punishment for a crime. It's been 2 years now, and we have passed both committees. We have had a public hearing, and we are awaiting placement on the agenda from Assemblyman Coughlin and from Senator Sweeney. We have been pushing very hard this past week. You can follow me on Facebook, Dennis Febo. You'll see I'll be consistently posting what numbers to call and to who to hit up to apply pressure. Also with the understanding that there's a federal amendment, the Federal Abolition Amendment was launched 2 weeks ago. We also have a federal website, which is endtheexception.com. If you visit that website, it'll populate the email for you to the representatives that you should be emailing. I suggest you add a little commentary of your own, make it a little bit personal, and just hit send, and it will send it to all of those representatives at the same time. So in New Jersey, we are campaigning to abolish slavery at the state level and to abolish slavery at the federal level. Currently, last week we learned, last Friday, the state of Oregon has officially placed abolish slavery on their ballot. So we have 2 states that officially have it on the ballot, Tennessee and Oregon. We're currently awaiting Vermont, California, New Jersey, Ohio, who else? We got a bunch of states. Nevada, Texas, Louisiana, and Florida are organizing, so they should be ready to propose for next week. Iowa is about to come up. And just again, a reminder, the state of Colorado abolished slavery in 2018, and the states of Utah and Nebraska have done so in 2020. The only other state to have ever permanently abolished slavery in the United States was Rhode Island, and that was in the 1800s. Besides that, it's get on the phone, call these people, and put pressure. Again, if we're talking about reform, this will be, for me, the first step, right? And correcting the wrongs that exist from our history that still have reach and influence on the way that we conduct justice. So I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Okay. Now, Dennis, one more time, you said the federal is in the exception?
Yeah, endtheexception.com. And if you want to reach out on the state level, you can go to abolishslavery.us.
Abolishslavery.us. And that's for New Jersey, and endtheexception.com is on the federal level.
Correct.
Okay, we'll make sure to keep advertising that.
Good brother. It's always a pleasure, and please continue to come back to us.
Yes, man.
Yes. Cory Booker jumped on as a co-sponsor, by the way, for the federal amendment, and we're waiting on Menendez. We're trying to get as many sponsors on the bill as possible.
Okay.
But definitely push on your Congress people.
Definitely.
Blessings, I share and love everybody.
Blessings and peace.
Yes,
Brother, always. Man.
Take care.
Thank you.
And now we'll go for our station break.
That's right. DJ Chauncey B, take it away, brother.
And when we come back.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check. Testing. 1, 2. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of Luther. Wherever you are, if you eating some oatmeal raisin cookies or something at the same time, I want y'all to just hum this verse with me. Yeah, this is always the sexy treat right here. I gotta give the sexy treat for the ladies one time. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on. You gotta hit him with the break. You gotta hit the break. You gotta hit him with the break. 5, 4.
I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me.
One time.
You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you.
Let's go.
You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my day dreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings deep enough.
One time, baby.
That's when you opened up your heart and you told me.
What you saying? Yo, this song just brings back so many great memories, right? Yeah. Let's go. We're gonna break it down right here, El. I'm gonna break it down. One time, here we go. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna stop it right here. Yeah. Break down. Break down. Break down. Let's go. Move. Hey. Yeah. Yes.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back real quick. Yeah.
Welcome back to Conversation with Bless, Bless in the City. We're here joined today by Dr. Tanya Ashley. I'm always, I always feel good when I have a healthcare professional around, and
Yeah.
And some of the mental issues I'm also dealing with. I just want to understand me, Doc. So I guess we'll talk about that later.
We sure will.
That's a long conversation.
Right.
That's gonna take years.
Yeah, you know what? And I was saying that. Like, I don't know, man. I blame my mom. I think she left me in the car with the windows up in the heat.
Maybe she dropped you just a little?
A few times. She actually admitted that she actually dropped me a few times. Like, yeah. Is it too late to call DIFAS? Is the statute of limitation on
Yes.
Yeah, the statute of limitations
Yes, it is.
was over years ago.
Oh, but it wasn't for Cosby, so I don't know. Mama, I don't know. You might,
Glass everywhere.
Mama, you might get a phone call. I'm sorry. I can't live like this.
What you say? You gotta call Dice.
Yeah,
you gotta
man,
make
I might,
sure.
Mama, you might get paid. Yeah. Well, Dr. Ashley, welcome. We
Welcome.
also would like you to introduce yourself. Let the good people know who you are and what exactly you do.
I will. First of all, are you vaccinated?
Yes, I am.
Are you vaccinated?
Yes, I am.
So everybody, this is what you can do when you're sitting around people who are vaccinated. And I'm vaccinated too. Hold on a minute. All righty now.
Take off the mask.
You can take off the mask. Okay, so my name is Dr. Tanya Pagan Raggio Ashley. But Tanya Ashley's good. It's,
Okay.
good. It's
Yeah.
all good. It's
I didn't
all
want to
good.
offend nobody, but
You didn't offend me.
it's a mouthful.
I'm a physician, and my specialty is in pediatrics,
Okay.
preventative medicine, and something called epidemiology. You know, when you hear about COVID-19 and you hear about people studying that and studying different things in populations, that's what an epidemiologist does.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Right on time.
I'm trying to tell you, right?
How about
exactly.
that? How about that?
Well, she's one of my new best friends. She's going in my favorite 5.
Well, I have to tell you, she's in my top 5.
Oh, excuse
Okay.
me, Mama. Excuse me.
So, and she has been there for a long time. Cause she my friend.
All right.
Yes, she is.
Well, definitely welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And we go to church together.
Oh, look at that. Fellowship.
Assistant minister.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. That's my other call. And actually,
Yes.
this is my missionary work. My mission is the mission of health.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And also, viewers, I mean, any questions you have for Dr. Ashley, feel free, send them. We're going to have DJ Chauncey P. We're going to give him a separate envelope. Like, we're going to pay him to read off some of the questions, that may come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that'll
They already
be our
have 'em.
bonus.
They already
But we don't have no envelopes. Not
already
today.
come.
Not today?
They're
All
already
right.
coming.
No.
All right. Well, let's get a tray going around here then.
But pass the hat.
That's right. Let's pass the hat. But in all seriousness, Doctor, what was the motivation for you being a young person, as a young woman, to, start your journey in healthcare?
Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. Actually, I was pre-law.
Really?
I sure was. And my father said to me, I hope I can say this and not offend anybody, Tanya, do you really, baby, he would call me baby, baby, is that what you really want to do? Do you really want to work with, people who were in the justice system? Back then he said criminals, but, we want to be politically correct. And I said, I really like civil rights law. So he's like, listen, all I ask is that you take a few different courses. I was going to Rutgers, and I took different courses, and I took a biology course. And, it was interesting because in high school, I wasn't turned on by biology. In college, I loved my biology course.
Wow.
And then they had a program called HCOP, the Health Careers Opportunity Program. I think that's what it was called. And I went to Livingston. And so in the summer, you could go, and I went to Harlem Hospital, to see if you liked doing that.
Right.
And so I was assigned to a surgeon, and he was taking care of women who had very large breasts, and their breasts were so large it would cause them to have back pain. And what I really liked about him was that he talked to the women, he had compassion for the women, he did the surgery, and then afterwards he was talking to them about how they felt. And I realized I didn't want to be a surgeon, but I was like, I think I want to be a doctor.
Wow.
And that was it. But I still continued with my studies in law. When I got my master's in public health, I made sure I took a lot of law courses. And to this day, that's helped me because I've helped to write policy, like I've helped to write the Affordable Care Act, parts of it,
Right.
focusing on women and minorities. So the laws always come in handy.
Wow. Right.
In
Isn't that
addition to
great?
medicine.
And just so you know, Sister Tanya here is a sister from New York. She's a born and raised sister in New York. Jenny from the block.
Another New Yorker.
Yes. A Bronx
I love
girl.
New York. I love
Hey,
GX.
hey.
I
just
GX.
thought I'd throw that in there, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
NYC, huh?
NYC.
Yes, when you were talking about Puerto Rico earlier,
Right.
and then you were playing Luther, it's like I loved both of them.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I mean that's great. The one reason why I was excited to have you on the show is because I just feel as though that, it's great to see people, of your color, and being able to accomplish so much, right? I feel like we don't have that enough exposure for a person like you when it comes from our own kids. We do a lot of mentoring programs, and it's just great to have you on this platform. You know what I mean? So they can see and identify that these things are achievable.
Thank you. And one of the things I do is mentoring. One of my other missions is that we have to, our youth are our future, right? And so I talk and I listen to our young people. I learn a lot from them,
Right.
But mentoring is very, very important. It's so important because if someone mentored me, someone probably mentored you,
Right,
you, Miss
absolutely.
Cynthia.
Yes.
And so I think that's a very critical part because they are our future. We have to, in order for them to have an interest, whether it's in law enforcement or health or whatever, we need to take time with them.
Right. Most definitely.
That is very true. Now, Tanya, you talk about COVID. I'd like for you to explain for those who may be reluctant with the vaccine. Could you explain somewhat the importance and why it can make a difference?
Absolutely.
And we
absolutely.
understand the distrust that some may have, but then we also know there are a lot of disparities in healthcare. And can you just kind of
Sure, no problem.
get into that a little bit?
No problem. So first of all, since we were talking about mentoring, hopefully everybody knows, if you don't know already, there's this wonderful young woman. Her name is Dr. Kismakaya Corbett, and she actually led the team that invented the Moderna vaccine for COVID-19.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah. And what's so interesting about her is she started as a young student being mentored at the NIH. Then she went, and got her, I think she went to University of Maryland undergrad. Then she went, got her PhD, came back. And what I want everybody to know is that this vaccine was not invented warp speed, as we heard before.
Right.
She was studying this virus, and you have to understand, COVID-19 is part of a family of viruses. They're called the coronavirus, and corona actually means crown.
Oh, wow.
Means crown. And when your children get the common cold every year, and
Yes.
well, that's one of the causes of the common cold is a coronavirus.
Oh.
And what happened is this particular version of the virus changed. This type of coronavirus is a virus that causes severe acute respiratory disorder, and that's why you might hear it called COVID-19 SARS. You've probably heard of other SARS viruses. So they've been working on a vaccine for a long time to try to figure out what's wrong. So to try to, to treat the illness. So what does the vaccine do? Okay, well, first of all, the vaccine has allowed me to sit here with both of you, take off my mask, and not be so concerned about getting ill, about dying from COVID-19. The vaccine, and there's different types of COVID-19 vaccines. There are two that are very similar, made by Pfizer and Moderna. They're what are called mRNA vaccines, and they're called mRNA vaccines because it stands for messenger RNA. And what happens, it's a little bit of protein. When it's injected into your body thinks, oh, that looks like COVID-19. The protein they inject disappears. It goes away. Okay, then your body develops antibodies. Antibodies are our fighter cells, okay? Those are our, like football, those are our defensive end, okay? They fight infection, and so what happens is you notice that if, I don't know, which vaccine did you get? Pfizer or Moderna?
Moderna.
You got Moderna, okay. So whether you get Moderna or Pfizer, 2 weeks after, okay, you've got a lot of protection, okay? But you don't have full protection against the virus until 2 weeks after your second shot, okay? And so with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's made a little differently, okay? And because it's made differently, it gives you protection 2 weeks after one dose. You do not get a second dose. All of the vaccines help to prevent us from, dying from COVID, okay? And help us to prevent us from getting ill from COVID. Now, I'm sure someone's going to call me who likes the Yankees, and they're going to say to me, Tanya, Dr. Tanya, the Yankees got their vaccine and they got COVID. That's right, they did, because a vaccine is not 100% effective. You have children. They get vaccines to give them a lot of protection, but they can still sometimes get an infection.
Right.
All right? But here's the difference, and here's the beauty of the COVID-19 vaccine. This vaccine is amazing. Once you get the two doses from Moderna and Pfizer, you have about 95% chance of not getting ill at all, okay? That is amazing. And if you look at the Yankees, they got COVID. Did any of them die?
Right.
Did any of them get seriously ill? No.
They didn't even have to be hospitalized.
They didn't even have to be hospitalized. And to show you it on a whole nother level, sadly, we've lost about 600,000 people in this country from COVID, right?
That's crazy.
May they rest in peace. In Jersey, we lost about 26,000 people, right? But guess what? We have given almost 5 million people their full dose of vaccinations. Their full dose.
Okay.
We've given over 9 million people at least one of those doses.
Okay.
How many people out of those individuals do you think got COVID, got a breakthrough? We call it a breakthrough infection. How many people do you think? Just take a wild guess.
None.
About a little over 1,000 people got a breakthrough infection. But they really didn't get...
Out of millions.
Out of
Millions,
over
yeah.
9 million vaccines and out of almost 5 million people being fully vaccinated. That's amazing. There is not a vaccine that works that well. And
good.
now we can give our children, starting at age 12 and up, the Pfizer vaccine. Moderna has applied to the FDA for what's called emergency use
Yes.
authorization. as well for the young children. And we actually have trials going on with little people down to the age of 6 months.
Wow.
To try to give them the vaccine as well.
Wow.
Remember, the vaccine was originally developed, not this particular vaccine, but vaccines related to coronavirus, were originally developed because lots and lots of children were getting this common cold. Their parents would get sick. They'd be, home. And so you have to remember, it does go back to children. I mean, in terms of they can carry the virus, they tend not to get so ill, okay? But if they bring it home to you or to grandma, you can get very
It's a
ill.
different story.
You may have heard that a few of our children get multisystem inflammatory syndrome, where they get, inflamed basically all over their body. They get pretty ill. And in Jersey, we've been very fortunate that those children have survived, and we do have some children and some adolescents who get COVID-19 and get very ill.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that breakdown.
Do you like that? Okay. I would like to share that there are many places where you can get vaccines.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
so first of all, the New Jersey Department of Health has a wonderful, wonderful webpage, and it's, I believe, COVID19newjersey.gov, COVID19.newjersey.gov. You can go there, and if parents or anybody have any questions, they can read there. For seniors, there's a special line, 856-249-7007. There's a regular line, 1-855-568-0545. It's much easier to get a vaccine now. You can walk into almost any drugstore and get a vaccine. You can go to community health center, like, Alliance Health Center.
Yes, Alliance Health Center.
In Jersey City.
115 Christopher Columbus
Oh.
Drive,
I didn't
Jersey
expect
City,
that.
New Jersey.
Okay.
07302, on the corner of Grove Street and
Oh.
Christopher Columbus Drive.
Look at
Okay.
that. Mama.
There you go. There you go.
And so that our other health centers don't get jealous, we have Metropolitan in Jersey City.
On Garfield Avenue, right, Garfield and Union Street. That's where they're located.
You guys are
935.
funny. Look at
Yes,
that.
935 Garfield Avenue.
Look at
I
that.
believe it is.
Go ahead, Mama.
Yes.
And if you live anyplace else in Jersey, you can go to Find a Health Center.
Absolutely.
Or so Find a Health Center and
Absolutely.
Find a Center.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and you can walk into any drugstore now. It's really awesome. It's really awesome.
One question I have for you, Doc,
Sure.
is you have some people that's leery of taking the vaccine that have like allergies and things like that. All right, what's your suggestion? I mean, should they take the first one and see how they respond? Should they stay away from it, completely? What is your suggestion?
That is a great question. The two questions I get the most are about allergies, and people hear different things about the vaccine. So let's talk about allergies. For example, I have allergies. I'm allergic to shellfish. I'm allergic to bees. I carry 2 EpiPens,
Oh, wow.
okay? And so even as a doctor, I was a little nervous. So I had my little 2 EpiPens with me. The nurse cracked up because she was like, hey, doc, we have our own EpiPens. I said, I'm just covering myself. So you have to know when you get any vaccine, when you take any medication, there's always a chance of a reaction. But we're prepared to reverse that reaction with something called epinephrine or adrenaline. We can give that to you on the spot. It very rarely happens. The other thing is very few people have been allergic to this vaccine. It has been absolutely amazing. And what happens more often than not is sometimes after the vaccine, usually after the second dose, you might have some side effects. You kind of feel fluish, like you might have a little bit of headache, a little bit of achiness. I had a little bit of that after my second shot. But like I said, wherever you get the vaccine, they have the epinephrine there, they have other things, but very, very, very few people truly have an allergy to the ingredients of this vaccine.
Okay. All right. Another thing, Doc, I also heard, or some people made suggestions when you do take the vaccine, they suggested that you have food within that 20 minutes afterwards, and they even said that Tylenol would help, soothe some of the symptoms or the side effects of the. Is that true? Would you recommend something like that?
I think if you want to eat before or after, that's fine. And what that might be related to is some people get a little bit nervous when they're getting a vaccine.
Okay.
And sometimes when you get a little bit nervous, you can drop your blood sugar a little bit. I don't know, but you can eat or drink, drink like water
Fluids.
or fluids.
So no Bacardi like afterwards. No, that's
well,
not,
if you want Bacardi and you want a rum and coke or something like that, you might want to wait a little bit to do that, right? It's fine to take Tylenol if you're having some symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, this is very important. Most jobs, I don't know about your job, but like at my job, which I don't really, anyway, at most jobs, you can get time off for your vaccine and if you have side effects.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I think, Brother Collymore, we take a little break and then we come back.
Right.
Take a couple of questions because what we didn't say is that Dr. Tanya is the chair of the Governor's Committee on Women and Reentry.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So we need to touch on that.
We sitting here with royalty right
I'm
now.
trying to tell
We
you.
sitting here with
Oh,
royalty.
no.
I don't think we gave her the proper introduction.
No. Let's start over.
Yeah.
Well, good people, we want to thank you. We're going to take a little break. Chauncey B, you ready? Take us away?
Yes, sir. Let's get to it. One time, baby. Yeah. Let's get to it. Yeah. That's right. Let's go. Yeah. I'm here for it. Ain't nothing but it's about love right now. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. 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 Hey.
That's what I got.
Yeah. One time, baby. Yeah.
Lately I toss and turn at night. I hold my pillow, baby. Wake up to find the covers on the floor.
Yeah.
I can't go on since you've been gone.
That's right. Let's go.
Sometimes I don't know
Let's go.
what I'm living
Hey.
for.
Hey. And
See, I don't know what it told you about the
Yeah.
better life. It's better
one time.
we can treat you
Hey.
better, but
Yeah.
none of that will keep you warm at night.
Jersey, what's happening?
Give you more,
Peace and love to Virginia on the check-in. Shout to Larry Love. My brother Larry Love. Shout to my brother Detective Sean Spence, man. Shout out to my brother JB, the vice presidents of BLESC, Sean Spence and John Boma. Yeah, shout to Erica Bermudez. Shout out to Michelle Blue. Yeah. Shout out to all my BLESC representatives. Tasha Hogan, what's up, baby? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Yeah. One time, baby. Let's go. Yeah. I hope you're sitting in front of your computer clapping right now. Let's go.
And I'll just dream of you until you do. See, I never could replace your love with anyone.
One more time. Yeah.
I do believe
Yeah.
it's easier said than done. No matter
I got you, Tasha. I'm going to put you on blast as soon as we get back on.
go search
I'm going to put you on blast, baby. Let's go. It's in a good way. It's in a good way. Yeah. That's family right there. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear that now, Ant? Word. That's where we at. That's where we at. That's where we need to be. It's on there, huh? Let's go. Y'all ready? Yeah.
Welcome back, good people. I'm gonna tell you, Chauncey B, man, you was in love before, cause
yes, sir.
You putting that loofah on.
I have to. I have to. I'm in my feelings.
Yeah, that don't sound.
I worked in the sun for 2 weeks strong.
Right.
So I have to let y'all know I still have love in my heart.
Yeah, that do it to you, man.
Don't judge me. Watch TV.
That wasn't skinny Luther either. That was big Luther.
Yeah,
that was big Luther.
Yeah, that was big Luther. He was playing. Yeah. Well, welcome back, good people, man. We here again with Tanya Pagan Ashley. She added another name. It's like 3 more.
I can't keep up. I just say Miss Tanya, with all due respect. Miss
Dr. Tanya Pagan Ashley.
Yeah, doctor. I didn't even want. I said I didn't even understand. I was like, is it doctor or nurse?
Right.
I wasn't sure. So I didn't want to disrespect.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. I mean, again, man, we've been learning a lot about COVID, and another thing we want to address, right, Mama Blue, is her work with females in reentry.
Yes.
Right, Mama?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to. Tanya was very gracious, and she's a very humble lady. When she introduces herself, but I'm just going to put it out here. Tanya Pagan Raggio Ashley, MD, MPH, FAAP, got it, has dedicated her life to improving and eliminating health disparities, creating health equity in a culturally and linguistically appropriate manner. So she cares about everybody, okay? She collaborates with others to improve healthcare access and provide quality, affordable health services. Tanya is board certified in preventive medicine, pediatrics, and completed a cardiovascular epidemiology fellowship. And also she is licensed to preach at Abundant Joy Community Church and any other church where she is invited, because she is licensed. She has done residency at Montefiore. She's a graduate of Rutgers Medical School. She's a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public Health. She has attended New York Theological Seminary and the other seminary in Puerto Rico, which I dare not try to pronounce because I don't want to mess up the name, but it sounds beautiful. Yeah. But what I also want to say is that, yes, Tanya is the chair of the Governor's Commission on Women and Reentry.
Wow.
And with that, Dr. Tanya, tell us about it.
Right.
Tell us.
So, remember I told you I was originally interested in pre-law.
Right.
And one of the reasons I was interested in pre-law is, as Miss Cynthia said, I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx.
All right.
And
all right.
And, you know, too many of us, particularly too many of us who are brown and black, are incarcerated, and we should have never been incarcerated, okay? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about how many of us are incarcerated just for having marijuana, not for distribution, but just to use. So I saw one too many people, one too many women who were incarcerated. When I did my training in New York, you've heard of Rikers. Well, the junior part of Rikers is called Spofford. So I worked there as well. That was our juvenile detention, whatever. And so going way back then, and then when the women would deliver, sometimes the women would deliver and they'd be coming from the jail as well. So what had happened was, prior to this bill, Governor McGreevey, who's over New Jersey reentry, I had gone to some meetings with him and others. Whenever issues would come up about HIV prevention or other things like that, I always had my ear to the ground about making sure we took care of people who were incarcerated. I think a lot of people like to use the term the other side of the wall, but who are incarcerated. So I'm very thankful we have the women in reentry because of the women in the legislature. So Assemblywoman Ileana Pintor Marin Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, Assemblywoman Annette Quijano, of course, Senator Weinberg, and we have so many other co-sponsors. Of course, you know, they created this bill. And the bill, the whole purpose of the Women in Reentry bill is to really look at women who are incarcerated, who are getting ready to leave the prisons as well, and go into what we call reentry or come back into the community. And it's interesting because you started out talking about your mental health, right?
Right.
Okay. And
He has no health. mental.
and I knew I was going to get to that because in terms of looking at the women, what these assembly women did is they said, listen, they're women. They need the same care as other women.
That's right.
And forgive me for saying this because we're in mixed company, and even though I'm a doctor, I don't usually talk about things like about sanitary napkins and stuff. But women in prison, they're having to pay for that.
Right.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Right.
That is ridiculous. Right. So the Assemblywomen, and by the way, Senator Cory Booker had introduced a similar bill a couple of years before, I believe, at the federal level. So they basically wanted to pull together people from different backgrounds to address the needs of these women. So, for example, in terms of the women's health, Dr. Gloria Bachman is the chair of the Health Committee. I'm on the Health Committee. I am the chair of the whole Women in Reentry, but I am on the Health Committee because I'm a doc. Right. So we look at things like the women's mental health. Many women who are incarcerated, when they were little, they had very bad experiences as children. We call them ACEs, you probably know. Right. Trauma, thank you, sir. Adverse childhood experiences, okay? Some of the ladies, have had to sell their bodies, or they have been raped. I mean, many of the women are doing the time for somebody else. Many things have happened to them. Even though women in prison are of all races and ethnicities, they are disproportionately represented by us, meaning black and brown people.
That's right.
And if you look at our health care in general, we're in much poorer health, right? So imagine you're in poor health before you get incarcerated, then you get incarcerated, and then the health care you get in the prison system may not be the best. And I'm using the term prison, but feel free to correct me, but just for. And then you may get ill while you're there. Many women throughout this country have been forced to have hysterectomies, had their tubes tied.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. They're in prison, and they're told. There's a beautiful film called Belly of the Beast about this. It's about the women in California. But the bottom line is that, the women may have some pelvic pain. Remember, some of the ladies may have had some sexually transmitted infections, or maybe they're just having normal female pain from their uterus or their ovaries or whatever. They get seen, and then all of a sudden, and they're thinking they're going to just get treated, and then they don't realize until months later sometimes, or much later, that they had hysterectomy, that they had their tubes tied.
Wow.
Okay?
Yes.
So we want to prevent things like that from happening. Now, thankfully in Jersey, we don't tend to do that, but we want to make sure those things don't happen. Many of the women who have issues with depression and anxiety and traumatic experiences, they may need mental health treatment. Some may also have substance use disorders and need treatment for that. Not all the women, okay? Some of the women, you may not think about this, but most of those women have never had any oral health care.
Right.
Okay, and if your teeth are rotten, that's a real problem. Many of the women smoke. Okay, they smoke to calm themselves, right? So, and some of them already have asthma, so there are lung issues we need to deal with. Some of the women may have hepatitis and may have never been screened for it. And we can treat hepatitis. You don't have to die from hepatitis. Even hep C we can treat, okay? There's different types. There's hep A, hep B, hep C. Many of the women have children when they get incarcerated, right? We want to make sure that, number one, when women go to deliver their babies, that no woman is ever chained. And that's one of the things that these women and other women have done to make sure that women aren't treated like that while they're in labor. We need to make sure, one of the other areas we want to make sure is that family reunification, so that, if they have a baby, if they have, older children, that they can be with them, they can have appropriate visitations, they can have a place that's nice. I don't need to tell this audience that the Edna Mahan facility is getting, it's going to be closing, the correctional facility.
Yes.
But women are incarcerated in many other places as well, right? Of course. So we want to deal with that. So when the women are in prison, we need to prepare them for when they leave.
Right. The exit plan.
The exit plan. And so often now what happens is you may also have women that have been there for a long time and they're in menopause, okay? They
Never thought about that.
look at the average. If you look at the women who are incarcerated at Edna Mahan, a lot of them are doing 20, 25 years. They've been in prison a long time. They went in as a young woman and they're coming out older, okay? So, they may have hypertension, diabetes, cancer, whatever. Whatever medications they're on when they're in prison, we want to make sure that they're continued, because right now, the way things are, as soon as they leave the prison, technically they're usually homeless for a day, really, right now. And we want to make sure that they have their Medicaid. Most are eligible for Medicaid, okay, prior to leaving prison. We want to make sure they have whatever medications they need, if they need follow-up when they leave, if they have a substance use disorder, that whatever they're getting, that they continue to get. We want to make sure they have a safe place to stay. A home, an apartment, a safe place, right? Because you don't have a place to stay, that's almost guaranteeing you're going to go back.
Absolutely.
And then as they come out, work with the women around education, around helping them to develop skills so that they can have jobs. And so there are other people on the committee that are addressing education, that are addressing jobs, that are doing all those things.
Wow, that's deep, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful that the assistance is there to assist them. I hope that there's the same. I know there is on the men's side, but women need it too, and it's just necessary. Chauncey.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a question?
We have a few questions, Mom.
Dr. Tanya, you got to take one or two.
Okay.
Okay, but I know there's something else you want to say.
If I may, just really quickly. So one of the things that we did that's being done with the women is the women are human beings. They're very creative people. And yesterday, Governor McGreevey, Dr. Bachman, and several of the women, another member of the New Jersey Reentry Team, Sophia, they had a kickoff for the Journal of Women and Criminal Justice, okay? And you can get this online. And what's so beautiful, I don't have the full copy here, is there's artwork by the women who are incarcerated and going through reentry.
Wow.
There's poetry.
Nice.
There are
Beautiful.
narratives, where they're writing. So please go online, go to New Jersey Reentry Corporation. You can also see if you go on Facebook, you can also see where they had the kickoff yesterday for the journal. But the beauty is the women.
The beauty is the women.
They did the journaling, they did some writing, some poetry, they have artwork. It is beautiful.
I will make sure I get the website address and share it so
Right.
we can all share it.
Dr.
Okay.
Ashley,
Right.
unfortunately, we are running out of time.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And
Yes,
we
we
just
are.
want to thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes.
For attending the
Okay.
program. You were very informative. We thank you for all the work you've done, and we hope to have
man,
you
it's so
back
much.
soon, and also help BLESC on doing some different activities when it comes to our young women, because we had a mentoring program with some teenagers from Lincoln High School, all female.
Okay.
Yes, we
And
did.
that was a project within itself, and we would like to also, we also want to, do something to expose our young women to, women and professionals like yourself that's doing so much, and show them that they're possibly able to achieve that. We want to thank you again. Mama Blue, you got any closing words?
Well, Dr. T, I thank you for coming. I thank you for sharing. I wish we had more time because I know there's a
man.
bunch of questions.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Well, if I get the questions, I'll be glad to answer them, and you can let
Okay.
me know.
Well,
Okay?
yeah, I'll do it that way. We'll list the questions,
Okay.
get the answers, and then put it back on
And,
Facebook.
and Dr.
yeah.
Ashley, you're always welcome to come
Y'all
back.
got that, right? Party people, y'all do understand what she just said, right? We're going to put them on Facebook.
Right.
So whatever your question is, we'll get the answers, and they'll go up on our website.
And we want to thank everybody for, again, tuning
Tuning
in.
in.
Yes.
Chauncey Black, we thank you, my brother, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
We want to
Scott is
thank
the
you,
man. I'm sorry.
President Tony Smith. We want to
Hold up, El.
Anthony Smith.
Hold up, El. We can't forget our good brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Scott and Dana.
Dana. I'm sorry.
man.
My apologies. Thank you.
Yeah, they work hard, man.
Also, we want to actually thank Ashley Sullivan.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. We love you.
Kearney Point Studios, please, guys, reach out. You need some studio time, please. We want to thank Light Skin Keisha. We want to applaud her efforts
Our
in
other
Africa.
co-hosts. Hold
Yeah.
on, El. We have to
What,
really
for not
emphasize
being
that.
here?
Party people,
Stop
this
it.
studio is looking to do business with everyone.
Yes.
Kearney Point. So if you guys are interested, anyone wants studio time, please. There's a website, right, Scott? There's a website, so you could reach out. But definitely type in Kearney Point. Everything comes up. Everything comes up when you type that in.
Chauncey, you going to be anywhere this week? Let the people know you're going to be at, bro.
Well, for the next couple of weeks, I have all private events. Thank goodness.
Okay.
I got your family's event. I just got booked for that today. in July.
Okay.
Mike Jordan's daughter, but I have a whole lot of them.
Well,
This weekend
good.
I'm gonna be in Amboy, South Amboy.
Okay.
All holiday events, holiday and birthdays. 50. Everybody turning 50 this year, Mama.
Listen, man. Anytime.
Me
you
too. I'm turning 50
That
too.
feels good.
Minus
Any-
11.
Well, I'm 25, but anytime you need a sucker free DJ, feel free to reach out.
Definitely.
Yes.
BLESC would like you. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Thank
Come
you.
back in 2 weeks. All right.
Yes.
We will
Stay
be back.
safe.
And Dr.
Protect
T.
yourself. Yes.
Thank you
yes,
again.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. All right,
Stay
Chauncey
cool.
B, take it away, good brother.
R-E-S-P-C-T, R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to
Yeah.
me. R-E-S-P-C-T, T-F-T-C-T. Sock it to me, 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 sock it to me.
She's so dope. This lady is so dope. I didn't even know how to address her. Yeah, Miss Tanya. Yeah, she's dope. Get with y'all next week, y'all. Peace and love. Sucker free.
I got you.
She had a lot of questions. She was asking you about. She said she read a book. She said she's doing about you, and she was as you were talking, she was complimenting you the whole time.
got limited time. We gotta find a way to incorporate some of the questions at least, maybe.
Yeah.
Questions.
I normally get them in. I don't know what happened
I'm
today.
so sorry, did
I
I
think
talk
with
too much?
the block and Dennis, we kind of.
Yeah.
We should
And
do that
feel
all
free, if
together.
I ever
Yeah.
come back,
Yeah.
feel free to
That should
say
have been all
anything.
one.
Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah.
I was going.
He was gone. It's good. No, we